Oh, yes. The internet has once again become ours.
Yep, we are here again, Dan, and we are talking about another animated film going into Animated April, your favourite month of the year, am I right?
Coming out of Animated April, the best month of our entire calendar.
Yeah. You've always favoured April, haven't you? It's always been a favourite, not just because it's your birthday month, but also because we always talk about animated films.
Always talk animations, and we can no longer take that away from this month.
Yes.
It cannot come away because it's just...
We do have one more after this, don't we? Is that right?
We do.
I believe we have one more, yeah.
We do. I actually thought this was going to be the last one, so I'm getting really excited.
This is the penultimate one.
Yeah. Now, this one is also one that we have spoken about on this channel hundreds of times. It's one that we've, I don't think you ever thought the day would ever come for you.
No.
I never thought this day would ever come. So,
but all I'm going to say is,
unwrap it.
A deal's a deal.
A deal is a deal. Now, for those who are new here, let's fill you guys in. So, Tommy and I are very, very different when it comes to the cinema. In fact, I don't actually ever
go to the cinema.
I don't go to the cinema. I don't really watch films at all.
No,
not really. No. I do occasionally. I don't really. Now, Tommy here is the complete opposite. He practically lives at the cinema. He's there so much, he runs all their fire drills.
It's a hobby.
Yeah. He's there all the time. Now, Tommy's taste of movies, I mean, come on. Best for Tommy is Lord of the Rings. He's a huge fan of that. I'm
guilty as charged.
I've only just seen them. I'm not so big on them.
That's okay.
But again, you know, I'm one that will appreciate a good work of art when I see it.
But Dan did watch all 3 Lord of the Rings films, and we had a deal upon this, didn't we? You know, like if you watch those films, I will watch one of your favourite films.
Yes.
And today we are talking about said film.
Now, here's the thing. I just want to put this out there as a bit of a spoiler. It's not actually one of my favourite films. It's in my top 10.
It's on your top 4 on Letterboxd.
It is, but it's not like the best, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But here's what I will say. Its TV show counterpart, however, is certainly
your favourite TV show.
Absolutely. Or again, in the top 10. It's probably one of the TV. It's probably the TV show I watch the most.
Okay.
So let's just get that out of the way right now.
Right.
And also let's just remind the audience that I'm practically 5 years old.
You are.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't agree.
You are.
Anyway, so that's us unwrapping the intro of the film we are here to review today. Now, let's add a little bit more to context to this story. Saturday was our viewing day.
Yep.
The day that you sat in front of my television.
With producer man Steve, who had not seen it either.
He'd not seen it either. And we're in there on a 5.1, and you're sat there wondering, if there was a better film we could run through this system. Well, anyway, let's now reveal to the audience for the first time today what film we are reviewing today.
We are talking about the 2004 animated film, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Listen, everyone, I can hear people cheering already.
Don't look so disappointed, Tommy. Now, this movie has to be one of the biggest things I remember in my life.
It's a big part of your childhood, right?
It is, because my sister got a school trip opportunity to go and watch it. I didn't. I had to wait for a hooky copy camcorder to come. And it was terrible. The colour was all washed out.
Yeah.
People were laughing and coughing. It was terrible.
Yeah.
My first viewing of this movie was ruined.
Yeah.
Don't do piracy, kids. It's not good.
We had to back in the day.
It ruins everything.
Yeah. It was the best we could do.
It was years after I then got the actual copy and then watched it in colour, and it was a lot better.
And would you say it offered more layers to the TV show for you, or like
It did.
Yeah, it did. It
absolutely did. The only thing for me was
because you're passionate.
Yeah,
you're passionate about SpongeBob.
If you watch the TV series, you will know, and this is a spoiler for those who haven't seen either. There is a King Neptune in the TV series who is a different animation, different color, different character altogether than what.
Does Princess Mindy look different?
Princess Mindy's not in the
She's
TV
not in
show
it
at all. She's exclusive to the movie. But the the actual King Neptune of this movie, unfortunately, is not the King Neptune you know and love from the TV series. That was the only thing.
Okay.
But unpopular opinion, I preferred the movie's Neptune compared to the TV show's Neptune.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, is dated with it. This is all high definition. You know how it goes with technology, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I did like about this film, and it does continue to give laughs. It was a funny film. I was very surprised to have you and Steve laughing along with it, and I was really glad that you did.
Yeah,
because it told me you enjoyed it. You did actually seem to be getting into it at one point. You actually were. No matter how manly you pretend to be on this camera right now,
It was.
You did.
It was funny.
It was a fun film, and of course there was a little bit that had the two of you drooling in the last quarter of that film. But I will let you get into your review because no doubt you mentioned that bit.
Well, I kicked off my review, Dan, by saying I'm literally the only kid of my generation to say this, likely, but I never grew up watching SpongeBob SquarePants. I was a Cartoon Network kid through and through, only occasionally tuning into Nickelodeon for the live-action stuff like Keenan and Kel or Drake and Josh, really. But to hold up my end of a deal made with a friend... You're that friend.
That's me.
This culminated with him showing me this rather bizarre but funny animated film spun off of the success of the animated series. The film itself is quite funny. The characters are funny, and the plot is stupidly funny. The animation does salvage a lot of it, as I very much enjoyed the blend of live action / animation. Reminded me a lot of films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Bedknobs and Broomsticks, which are films I have a lot of respect for, and their respective times when they were made.
Really good films.
And they kind of, the SpongeBob movie did remind me on that of those movies in that regard, so that was nice.
That was good.
It was fun finding out that Alec Baldwin played Dennis and Scarlett Johansson played Princess Mindy.
No way.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that.
No, neither did I. I literally on Saturday night I went out for drinks with some friends, and I told them that you'd show me that movie. And one of my friends, who's also a SpongeBob fan, he said, "You do realise Scarlett Johansson voices Princess Mindy, right?" And I was like, "Wait, what? No, I never picked up on that."
Wow, I never picked up on that. And we watched the credits, and we still missed it.
I know. You don't usually expect big names to show up in these kind of movies, do you? Especially in a film which is a spin-off of an animated TV show which is aimed primarily at children, although some adults watch.
Yeah, all right.
But the biggest
Point made.
But the biggest of big compliments goes to David the Hoff Hasselhoff.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Who technically is the reason why SpongeBob saves the day when you really think about it.
Well, yeah.
Like, if it weren't for Hasselhoff, he wouldn't have even got back in time, and, Mr. Krabs would be, goner.
Yep.
Hasselhoff is a gem in any film he appears in. Plus, the comedic spoofing of Baywatch was a pretty good touch, I thought.
But here's the thing. How the hell did they... I mean, you think SpongeBob movie or any animation like this, you do not expect David Hasselhoff to just appear.
It was the money, I reckon. Yeah, I think he did it for the money, but...
Yeah, but who wrote that in? Like,
I don't know, but it was
what
genius.
What does this film need? David Hasselhoff.
SpongeBob and Patrick, they're on a beach, and they need someone to help them off that beach. I mean, when it comes to a beach and someone needs to save your life, there's no one better than David Hasselhoff. Maybe Pamela Anderson, but, David Hasselhoff, he's more of the commercially, probably kid-friendly type to have in a children's movie over Pamela Anderson.
I agree.
But the running gag of King Neptune being bald was probably my favourite joke in the film.
My eyes!
Bald dude needs stolen crown back to hide his baldness is actually a humorous oversimplification of the plot as a whole when you really think about it. But this film was released around the same time as The Incredibles, so I can see why it failed to break box office records. Heck, any film going up against that Pixar gem would have suffered greatly, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was a hard sell. I mean, for me as a viewer in 2004, I was in my element.
Yeah, but, too right.
Yeah, obviously, for otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was up against Shrek 2 or The Incredibles, I don't think the SpongeBob movie was going to come out winning, honestly.
Yeah, it's a different kind of movie as well.
Yeah, especially when Shrek 2 and The Incredibles are both 5-star movies for me, anyway.
I look forward to your rating on this one.
Yeah. So to close, Dan, I can I can see why fans of SpongeBob make ironic or not ironic reviews for this film, like it's the best film ever, or this film changed my life.
Like I did.
Yes, yeah. But sadly, I only get to view it as an adult who was never a fan of the show. Some jokes stick the landing, but there are countless better animated flicks out there for me.
Did you see my underwear? No. Did you want to?
Oh yeah, you're quipping them off now, aren't you, Dan? But yeah, on this note, Dan, I'm going to rate the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Actually, before I reveal mine, you tell me what you rate it out of 5. Just to keep you waiting a bit longer.
All right. I'm a solid 4.
Okay.
What are you?
I've rated it 2.5 stars out of 5.
Oh, what? No, those laughs were real. Those laughs were real.
Yeah.
Recount.
You did give Fellowship of the Ring that as well, when you really think about it. So, but when you think about it, it's half of 5. We're halfway there to 5. Nearly.
No.
Nearly.
Do that maths again.
I know.
How many stars did you give it?
2.5.
Uh-huh.
So 2 stars and another half.
Oh yeah. 2.5 times 2 is 5. Yeah. Okay. No, sorry.
See. So
what kept that half a star back from 3?
I think.
Remember, I just want to remind you, David Hasselhoff was in this.
Yeah, and
okay?
all the stars practically go to him, really, and the humor, you know. But other than that, it's not really a film I'd rush to rewatch. It's the plot is quite silly, and I'm sure if you're a fan of the TV show, it's commendable.
Well, it's only going to be silly. That's what SpongeBob is.
I know it is, yeah, but I like animated films where there's a bit of heart to them as well, and like a lesson learned, and there's not really anything like learned. But not that I was going in expecting that.
Well, he did learn quite a big lesson.
Which was?
Well, he did say at the end of the film he's learned the big lesson that, you know what, it's all right to be an immature kid. You might have noticed there's a subliminal message I want you to receive in this movie, Tommy. It's all right to be an adult kid. It's fine.
Right.
That was the lesson that he learned on his journey.
Okay. Well,
but clearly the popcorn just went to you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I think it did. I was overrun with the snacks.
To be fair, producer man Steve bought it. That could have contained anything.
Yes, that's true. And I'm interested to see what he rates it as well, because he, unlike me, is a fan of the TV show.
I think that's the other thing as well. There were references in this movie that were very clever, very strategically stitched to the TV series. If you've not seen it, you would never have got them.
Another thing I will commend it for is the runtime. It's swift and easy. It's a short movie. You don't...
a short movie makes the dream works.
Yeah.
Shout out to DreamWorks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, as well, it's also not a movie that's reliant on you having seen this TV series.
No, it's not.
I think that's an important thing to bring attention to.
Remember, I was figuring out all these characters as they were being introduced in this movie. I was like, oh, okay, so he works with Squidward. Oh, okay, so Mr. Krabs is his boss.
And
these are things I didn't know.
These are things that the movie doesn't do justice. You don't get to see a lot of Sandy the squirrel. She's got one line in the whole film.
Yeah, the space squirrel, right?
Well, no, she's a squirrel that lives underwater. She needs a suit.
Yeah, I get it.
But then you got Mrs. Puff, the driving teacher. You didn't see her at all. Squidward only had a couple of lines. You kind of picked up on the whole thing that he's just your typical McDonald's worker. You've been there before,
miserable guy.
They are.
Life is.
They hate
glim.
customers. You've seen that sort of. That is your Squidward. So you do get to see a lot of SpongeBob and Patrick, but obviously. What you like about sequels, about that whole building up of the characters and the whole, that's already been done.
Yeah.
The film just went straight in, and it's about that failed plan execution, Plankton throughout the episodes. It's always a creative. It's always this, that, and the other, and it's always an over dramatic trying to steal the secret recipe, right?
Yeah.
It's the whole. Have you seen that video where the chickens and the clowns are meeting up on streets and American street corners and just fighting in costume? It's obviously play fighting.
Right.
It's obviously the McDonald's and the KFC.
Oh, okay.
People.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a light-hearted way of making a bit of an argument just to get in the news.
Yeah.
Americans do some weird things, but basically yeah, I think that this film did strike quite a lot of high chords. It got laughs out of you as well.
Yeah, it got some laughs out of me, you know.
And that was quite a good thing. I mean, were you expecting it?
I was expecting it to be worse.
I was gonna ask. Do you expect it to be better or worse?
I thought I was going to come out giving it a 1.5 or a 2, and I did give it a 2.5. So
You're expecting it to give it something quite low. I mean, so. Obviously, it had that charm. It had anything to it. Would there be anything that for you would have made it a better film?
I don't think it's possible, Dan. I just don't think it's my jam. I'm not a SpongeBob fan. I just I didn't grow up watching it. I find it quite ridiculous. And it is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, yeah.
But it's just not my jam. You can't force that. It's like me showing you like a spin-off of Batman the Animated Series.
No, it's like you showing me Lord of the Rings.
Or Lord of the Rings, but I was going like more for like the animated film. An animated film which is a spin-off of a TV show.
I suppose for us, right, we now need to come to the truce.
Yes.
I'm just never going to be a Lord of the Rings
but
fan.
Ultimately,
You're never going to be a SpongeBob fan.
Yeah, but ultimately, it's an exchange of culture, and we've done it.
We've seen each other's patches.
Mm-hmm.
We're appreciating them for what they are. You're like, I'm happy that Dan's happy. I'm happy that Tommy's happy.
But it's good to look over the fence and just see like what it is like over there. Like
I looked over my fence once. I got a restraining order.
Yeah, I bet you did. But no. I mean, it's good. It's an exchange of culture. That's what I call it. Whenever I have a movie day with someone and like they show me a movie and I show them a movie, that's what I call it. I call it an exchange of culture because you are still watching, and I'll watch any film. Like I'm happy to watch anything, give it a go. And again, with SpongeBob being an example.
You're never happy when I give you one. Cars, SpongeBob movie. I'm gonna find something you're gonna love.
SpongeBob the movie was better than the Pokemon movie, and it was also better than Cars, in my opinion.
Well, there you go. That's enough for me.
If there's nothing better to end it on, Dan, let's end it on that.
Let's end it on a nice high.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. One more from Animated April
yes.
due to come our way, and I'm really looking forward to that as well.
To cap off April.
Absolutely. April can do one. But thank you so much. I've had a bad month otherwise. Off screen, of course. On screen, life's
happy
good.
as anything, right?
We're rich on screen. But look, you guys take care. Thank you, Tommy, again, as always. So, yeah, my 4 stars again.
Yep.
I saw it in 2004. I have watched the hell out of this movie. I've seen it billions of times. And my reason for this not being a go-to movie to just put on and watch, and I did get a bit bored watching it with you on the Saturday because I knew word for word what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it and seen it and seen it.
Yeah.
But for me, I've got a request for next week.
Okay.
I would quite like to see Chicken Run.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, the second one. Oh, okay.
I've just seen it.
Okay, yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Well, I watched it about maybe a month or two ago, but I did forget to write a review for it. So I'll write a review this week for it, and then we'll cap off April with that one.
I think that's a fair one.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair one because I was expecting it to be bad.
Yeah.
Based on your reviews. Oh, it's not as good as the first one. I'm like, I kind of thought, this is going to be quite bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was good.
It should be okay. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go.
We'll see you guys here next week.
Oh, yes. Another Animated April on the cards.
Yeah.
For now, we've got to let Tommy go. Happy birthday to Tommy's mum.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get to that. You've got important work to do tonight.
Family stuff.
You, however, need to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us over on Letterboxd. Tommy Deet.
Larkins95, Dan Moore Radio.
Oh, yeah. You know what to do. You take care, and we'll catch you real soon.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.